Every year, over 23,000 Indian students pack their bags and move to China for higher education, and that number is climbing. To understand why, we have to look at the math of the Indian education system, specifically the competition for limited seats in domestic medical and engineering colleges compared to the volume of applicants. Systemic pressure is visible everywhere, from protests in the streets to the families facing an impossible choice. Students study for years, only to be mathematically excluded from government colleges by a fraction of a percentile on exams like NEET. That leaves them facing a high financial barrier. An Indian private university can easily cost 50 lakhs to 1 crore for a medical degree, and the traditional alternatives in the US or UK start at around $35,000 a year, with almost no scholarship availability for international students. For the average Indian student, both domestic private education and Western degrees are either statistically or financially closed off. They have to find a third option. The Chinese university system offers a strategic financial alternative. It provides top-tier, world-ranked education at a fraction of the cost found elsewhere. This matrix shows exactly how the finances break down across the 3 geographic options. We have domestic private colleges, US and UK schools, and Chinese universities. Look at the discrepancy in the China column. With the right scholarships, tuition can drop to 0, combined with a 20 to 40% acceptance rate for students who put together a strong application. Now, the immediate reaction for many involves geopolitical tensions, negative media cycles, or worries about whether the degree is actually valid back home. Bypassing the Indian system for China delivers a significant financial advantage. But that return is only accessible if you are willing to independently navigate complex bureaucracy and push through severe cultural friction. Let's break down exactly what that takes. Medicine is the primary driver here. By choosing a Chinese MBBS program, an Indian student saves roughly 75 lakhs over a domestic private college. The quality of the education is backed by the scale of Chinese hospitals. Facilities with over 1,000 beds are common, which gives medical students high-volume clinical exposure. But there is an absolute first rule to studying medicine in China. You must verify the institution is on the National Medical Commission, or NMC, approved list. This chart shows the exact regulatory pathway you have to follow to make the degree valid. First, you enroll in an NMC-approved university. Second, you graduate, return home, and pass the next exam in India. Once you pass that licensing exam and complete an internship, you can practice in India. This is the exact same hurdle required for a graduate returning from any foreign country. You are trading capital for effort. The financial savings of a Chinese MBBS are paid for through the mandatory work of passing domestic licensing exams. For engineering and postgrad students, the value proposition shifts to infrastructure. China spends more on R&D than nearly any other country, providing students direct access to cutting-edge AI and robotics labs. Top Chinese engineering schools carry elite global prestige. Universities like Tsinghua consistently rank alongside Western heavyweights like MIT and India's top IITs. The financial draw here is the Chinese Government Scholarship, or CSC. It is a comprehensive option that covers full tuition, campus housing, and even provides a monthly stipend. This chart maps out how Indian students actually attempt to secure these spots. Applying directly through university portals sits firmly in the low-cost, high-probability quadrant, but thousands of families end up in the high-cost, low-impact zone. They pay Indian education agents up to 1.6 lakhs for guaranteed admission, a claim that doesn't hold up in reality. The actual application process is free. It requires getting your documents apostilled, securing a police clearance certificate, and navigating the admission portals yourself. A fully funded degree is entirely achievable. You just have to invest your own organizational effort instead of handing your parents' money to middlemen. Once you land, the day-to-day reality sets in. While your degree program is taught in English, daily survival off-campus requires you to learn basic Mandarin, at least HSK levels 1 and 2. Without fluency, you will rely heavily on technology just to read labels in a grocery store or speak to a taxi driver. Then comes the most common challenge, food shock. Chinese cuisine uses meat-based broths and fish sauce in many dishes, making it difficult to maintain strict vegetarian or halal diets at local canteens. To adapt, you have to identify specific Buddhist or Qingzhen restaurants in your city and get comfortable cooking your own meals using spices ordered online. This map shows the geographic reality you are walking into. While southern provinces like Guangzhou and Yunnan have warm, familiar climates, temperatures in the north drop aggressively. Students arriving from tropical Indian regions face a shock when they step off a plane into minus 25 degrees Celsius. That sub-zero reality requires a complete change in wardrobe if you enroll in a city like Harbin or Beijing. Cultural friction is a real part of the cost of studying in China. The students who adapt their habits and learn the language succeed. The ones who expect a frictionless experience often struggle. When you strip away the noise, geopolitical tensions rarely impact a student's daily life on campus. The real hurdles are bureaucratic, like the NMC and next exams, and cultural, like managing food and weather. This scorecard shows who will thrive. Successful students are medical pragmatists ready for licensing exams, STEM students seeking global R&D, and those willing to cook and learn Mandarin. Stay home if you require zero-friction comfort, refuse to adapt, or rely on agents. The steps to enroll in these universities are completely free and accessible online to anyone willing to put in the work. Securing this level of educational arbitrage requires taking total ownership of the process. Do the research, verify the credentials, pack a heavy coat, and claim the results for yourself.